What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Now, Juventus have already effectively punted on the season, given the way this Mercado is wrapping up. But we've got to talk about the different moves they made, as well as we finally know who Juventus will play in what group for the Champions League. Stick with us, we'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro, and today it is Thursday, August 25th, 2022. And of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all news you hear about each and every day. Before we do anything though, do me a favor, smash that like button, Hulk smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. We'll just get into it, I guess. Overall, my thoughts. Today we had the Here We Go was announced. Unfortunately, it happened at 4 a.m. my time. So the Here We Go was announced, but it happened at 4 a.m. my time. Sorry, your boy was sleep, so he didn't see it. He didn't get to do anything. I honestly don't know what I would have given you people. I don't know what you want from me at this point. What else I would need to say about the player that's coming in for Juventus. Let's get in the news, though. Let's go ahead and we'll break it down for everything that you want to hear. Let's start off with some good news. And right now, immediately before this video was being recorded, the UCL drawing was done for Juventus, with the group being announced as Group H for Juventus in the UEFA Champions League draw. They will play against PSG, Benfica, and then Maccabi Haifa. A couple comments on there out there. I'll say this. Well, one, PSG, you know my thoughts on PSG, my disdain for PSG, but also just overall when it comes to PSG, the fact that PSG has an embarrassment of riches, that if Juventus were to somehow help take down PSG a notch, that would be nice. I'm doubting it's going to happen, just given what Juventus have done to themselves over the last Mercado in the last season or so. What I will say, though, is that if you're a Juventus fan and you're worried about Benfica, and that's where we are right now, I don't know what to tell you. If you're worried about Benfica, then you're not worried about Champions League. Then we don't need to talk about Champions League. If you're worried about Benfica knocking Juve out, that means we don't need to be talking about this. And I mean, to be honest, we probably don't need to be talking about this. Let's be honest. I will say this. Until Juve get a footing back to where they are competitive for the Scudetto and winning the Scudetto, then I'll worry about Champions League. Right now, I'm not worried about Champions League. I've seen, 4 seasons? I think it's at least 3 seasons in a row of round of 16 quick exit. The Champions League isn't even a thought to me at this point. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not concerned. And I understand what we mean, like when it comes to Benfica, as like you're worried about Juve getting knocked out. That's my point, though, is if Benfica can knock Juve out, you're not a real contender, right? Let's move on. That's what we have for the Champions League. We'll see what happens. We'll continue to follow that story. All right, let's continue on. Let's talk about the Mercado. What players are moving? Where are we looking at? Well, first up, Zakaria. Sky Sport with a report is saying that Leverkusen asked for information on Zakaria. However, the player's not interested. One thing we know, if he's interested in going anywhere right now, it appears to be Roma. That's the one that's developing, and that's the one that we need to keep an eye on for him to move on. Then we continue on, and let's talk about little Nicolo Fagioli as we continue on in the midfield of people that could move out. Nico Schira is reporting that Sampdoria are actually leading the race to sign Nicolo Fagioli from Juventus on loan. Expected a meeting in the next hours to try to reach an agreement. This one kind of surprised me because it seemed like Cremonese was the one that was high on Fagioli's list, but it now appears that Sampdoria have gained traction, and that could be one place that he could go. I say best of luck to him, best place where he can really go and hopefully develop, because, that Max Allegri is not going to use him or any youth players. All right, let's continue on. Well, we had reports yesterday, and I was doubtful about it, but supposedly the people over at Corriere dello Sport are reporting that Juventus are actually moving potentially for a left back, or at least putting out feelers. That's fine. With the last 10 days of the Mercado, you might as well put some feelers out now. Now's probably the time to start looking around, see what we can get. Corriere dello Sport reported that Juventus have asked for Reguilon. His agent is the same as Alexandro. So I guess that one could be a little bit dicey, a little bit fun if you're Alexandro, that your agent's over there trying to push your successor while also just trying to manage your affairs at Juventus. That's got to be a fun little meeting room. Anyway, and then the second part, through an intermediary, Juventus asked for Renan Lodi on loan, but Atletico Madrid closed that door. So Atletico Madrid are not willing to sell him, willing to sell him to Juventus. That's unfortunate because I actually liked Renan Lodi. But we'll see what happens with Reguilon. Will that be a player that could be coming to Juve? We move on, though. Juventus have other players they're going after, and right now we have confirmation that Paredes is a player that Juventus are moving for at the end of this Mercado, and probably will be one of the 2, maybe 3 guys that end up landing at the end of this class. Romeo Gresti, Fabrizio Romano, both reporting this today, saying that positive talks on the Juve Paredes front. The deal is edging closer to completion. And then Fabrizio's part was Juventus want to complete the Leandro Paredes deal as soon as possible on loan with a buy clause. PSG also want to speed up the deal. Paredes has been clear with PSG. He wants Juventus as a priority after personal terms fully agreed 2 weeks ago. Second half of this, let's go and follow that up. Nico Schiera had some numbers there, just some contract figures, at least an estimation on it, saying that Leandro Paredes to Juventus from PSG is at the final stage. A deal on loan with an option to buy, which will become an obligation upon reaching certain conditions. Contract until 2026 with a 1+3 as well. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see if Paredes will end up becoming a Juventus player. Is it going to be related to the move of potentially sending out Zakaria to Roma? We'll see if that one, how the timing of this one adds up, if it ends up becoming that, or if it's Juve are going to get him and do whatever they can and get him at any cost. Though, one thing we do know, that midfield needs to be cleared up a little bit before he can come in. One of the reasons, of course, Rabiot, which is, we have another little fun kicker there about Adrian Rabiot, and now he's affected the Mercado as well. So let's go ahead and get into that. We'll keep an eye on Paredes. Maybe we'll see something by this weekend if he ends up becoming a Juventus player. Now we have the player that we have to talk about. We talked about yesterday, basically saying all but the confirmation was done. Well, this morning you got the confirmation. It was very, very early for me. But Milik is a here we go, done deal. He's a player at Juventus now for this upcoming season. You saw the crowds flock to take pictures with Milik. And be excited about what Milik is bringing to this club. Like, oh, how the mighty have fallen, right? That's where we're sitting right now. That the fans are willing to come out and, like, get pictures and get stuff signed by freaking Milik. Like, we're embarrassing ourselves at this point. Like, to me, I feel like it's embarrassing. Like, if I'm a fan, I live in Torino, no way in hell am I showing up to take pictures with Milik. To me, that's embarrassing. And I understand maybe some fans want to tout, well, if you're a Juventus fan, you want to go out there and support them. You want to show them that we love the club, whatever. Okay. You know how I show that I love the club? I don't support Milik because I think the club is better than this. The club should be better than Milik. And I don't care if he's a backup striker, right? I don't care that he's a quote-unquote backup striker. I ran some numbers. I was going to do for the watch-along. Maybe I can do it on the live here later. Ran some numbers comparing him, comparing Memphis Depay, comparing him, Memphis Depay, Alvaro Morata, sorry, how did I forget about that one? And of course, Giacomo Raspadori, who was just, I threw that one in because that's the guy that I was pushing for. Well, for most of the numbers that matters, creating, matches played, goals scored, he's at the bottom of the list of all 4. I mean, that shouldn't surprise you, given that Juve, I guess, right now either have no money or they're not willing to spend the money. Exor doesn't give a damn about the performance of Juventus anymore. Exor are more than okay to just let Juventus die. I guess that's where I know I'm being dramatic. And I'm having fun with this a little bit. And I guess not really fun. I guess I'm just trying to, create a conversation here that's not just Juventus don't care about winning. That's just how I feel right now. But anyway, when it came to the statistics, matches played, goals scored, assists created, all stuff like this, he was at the bottom of the list of all 4 of them. And I understand there's some statistics you can look at and say, well, he played less than these guys. Well, you know what? What's the one thing that I hear you all tell me every day? What's the one thing I hear everybody complain about certain players? Injuries. Milik, do we trust him to be fit through the entire season? No. To me, I think Juventus did a disservice by not just keeping Alvaro Morata. So our club's going to be worse this season. Buckle up. Right? Anyway, let's go and open this up. I guess I didn't even get into the main stories. But Milik, first up, Romeo Gresti saying done deal. Milik joins Juve. Milik traveled to Turin earlier this afternoon. God, that one just took the sails out of me, right? Or the wind out of my sails, I guess. That's what I'm saying. Giovanni Albanese then also followed up saying there are no set objectives for Milik's loan to become an obligation. Juventus will pay 1 million euros for the loan and 7 million euros if they decide to buy him. So Again, I understand people are going to tell me, well, that's great. That's great. They got him for real cheap. They didn't spend any money. No, what that tells me is Juve don't have any money. They ain't got no money. There's no money to spend. I guess all the belief and all the, I guess that's what a Mercado is. The only way Juventus are able to get players or they're willing to make moves for players is if they can get players that are, Dollar General clearance section players. That's what we're getting. We're getting the guys that are, well, he's about to be retired. Oh, his contract is falling through. It's running up. That's how we can afford. We can only afford Di Maria and Pogba for these limited constraints we're able to pay them because we have no money because the club's dying a slow death. I guess that's what it feels like. Maybe I'm being dramatic once again. That's what it feels like when you tell me there's no money to buy players. And right now at this point, what makes any of you think Juventus is going to make top 4 this season? What makes you think this season's going to be anything better than last season? Let me know. All right. And then the final part of this, the real cherry on the bleep sandwich, if you will, I guess the bleep sundae, Fabrizio Romano basically just coming out and saying, Memphis Depay deal with Juventus has now definitely collapsed. 100%. It will not happen. No Depay. Depay to Juve is done. As in not happening. Not done deal. It goes on to say it was almost agreed last Thursday that Depay, he had never changed his request. He never asked for more. So all the BS rumors out there that were floated out there say that Depay wanted more money, Depay's demanding this, Depay's demanding this. It wasn't true. Juve weren't willing to pay it or they can't pay it. It's one of those two. Either one's not good. Rabiot to Manchester United. Here we go. Mama Veronique coming back, causing more problems. To Manchester United deal collapsed. That changed Juve's plans as they decided to use their budget instead to proceed on Milik and then for Paredes. There we go. I mean, that's our club. That's our club, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I'm frustrated. I'm obviously the happy-go-lucky guy right now. He ain't too happy right now. That's what I have. We'll see what they do with the rest of this Mercado. Do they bring a dollar store left back as well? Do they just try to fix this? Do they try to keep the ship from sinking? I couldn't even get this one out. The ship from sinking with some duct tape. They throw some duct tape on that and then just see how it goes. Hope it floats. I guess that's what we're doing right now. Will it float? We'll see. Will Juventus sink? This season's going to be... It's going to be an experiment. I don't know what else to say. Something I expected to be hopeful for. Something I thought it's time to get back on it. I'm not certain that it can do right now. And the reason I say that, too, is not just because they're not spending money, not because they didn't get the players that I want to get. It's also just like I'm not really here for the talk or the conversation of the give Allegri the guys that he, quote-unquote, wants. We're already not expecting him to do well when he's already done not well for the last season. We don't really have any kind of faith or hope in him, but you're telling us to build our roster around a man, and if he fails, then he's out of here. Well, that's great. He can fail, but then you can still tie yourself to Milik for 4 seasons. So you're stuck with his baggage. So, I don't know. I'm not really here for that conversation of, make him happy or give him what he wants. If he fails, that's on him. It's not on him. We're stuck with it for multiple seasons after that. That's it. I don't know. Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know these are not my usual happy-go-lucky or energetic conversations that I have here on the channel, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. You can follow me at Justin Silver on Twitter, and of course you can follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to your old lady for me.